Our guest speaker, I don't think he needs an introduction. Advisor to the FTSE 100. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Moe Nawaz. Round of applause.
Assalamualaikum, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, I'm not sure, but it's fairly late. But the sun's still not gone down yet, so we've still got time. Can I just do a quick walk around, just trying to get a feel for what sort of business you guys are in, so then at least I can tailor whatever bullshit I'm going to give you for the day. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about until I know exactly who I've got and the sort of businesses you guys are running. Can you tell me what you do, sir?
Basically, we've got a TV agency, advertising agency.
Okay.
TV channel and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
TV channel?
yes.
Hello? Oh, still working. Yeah. Can you tell me what you do?
I'm CEO of Channel 812 and I'm running my own business in Washington Food. It's a shop for the ladies and stuff. And in Bedford, I'm a partner of Royal Arch Restaurants.
You're excellent. Oh, you do? I've seen you on YouTube and it's right. Tell me what you do, sir.
Part of Harris Associate Centres and Big Rock.
Yourself, sir?
Are you putting me on Snapchat?
Helping to acquire gold bullion at the
We're going to have about innovation.
Right. I've got some sort of an idea, so let's see what bullshit I'm Who in here wants to really increase their sales? Okay. Is sales a problem for most of you guys? Trying to get more sales in? What percentage of you? Is this? Let's see. Can everybody see this? Okay. No? No? Let's drag it out somewhere where you can all see it. Everybody see it now? Oh, crikey. You're all a bunch of whingers.
fish.
Nah, crap drawing. Most people want a bucket of water and they want the sales. They want to keep on trying to fill that bucket up. But they forget they've got holes. There's more water leaking out than they can pour in. What it costs you to bring in a new client every time is 7 to 9 times more than to retain an existing customer. The problem with most businesses, they don't really understand their customers. Once you learn to understand who your customers are, what their needs and wants are, you should be building a ring fence around them and just locking them up, throwing away the key. If you are good at providing your service, whatever service or product that you supply them, you should be focusing on keeping them for life. Most people are very bad at looking after their customers. And the other half don't even really understand. Well, if I told you, in an undertaker's business, how do you get customer retention? Somebody tell me?
Bring them back to life.
Okay, that'll be a bit hard, I think. Okay, let me give you another example. Going back about 6-7 years ago, I did a talk on the O2 at the O2 Arena with Sir Richard Branson. And when I came off the stage, one major corporate who just dabbled, unfortunately, decided to go into the healthcare business. And they acquired somewhere just under 50 care homes. The problem was they couldn't fill in more than 40 to 45% capacity. So they're running well below capacity. So he came up to me and said, "Mo, can you help us to try and get more customers in. And I said, well, give me half an hour and we'll have a cup of coffee. Now, what happened there, when I met their CEO for a coffee, their argument of what they wanted was more customers at the top. So I said, tell me a little bit about your business. He said, we've got just under 50 care homes, and the average size of the care home is just under 50 to 60 people per care home, and running at 45 to 50% capacity. Every time we try to get our capacity level, people drop off, they die. So how do we keep on trying to get more in? Every area that we've got a care home, the local authority are the only people that we depend on wholly. We get some private clients, but majority of them are dependent on the local authorities giving us work. Without their work, we can't sort of fill the full capacity. So will you come and help us? So we said, look, we'll speak. These are my fees. This is what I charge, and I'll see what I can do. A couple of weeks later, we met up north at their head office, and they showed me around the building. We had a good walk around the building and looking around. And I said, is this your average care home, what you got here where your head office is? And he says, yes, this is what we got there. So we went in with his fellow directors, and his sales director, the first thing was like, how much sales can you increase our organisation by? And I said, I don't know the full picture at the moment. So the first thing came to mind was, what are you doing to retain existing customers? He said, there's nothing we can do. That's not in our power, not in our hands. We can't retain customers. If somebody's going to die off, there's nothing we can do. It's up to the doctors and up to Almighty above. We have no real control. So what are you doing to look after your existing customers? What's the sort of experience that you create for them to want to be with you, as opposed to going after your competitors or absolutely do nothing? So anyway, spent 2 hours talking with the rest of the co-directors, and I thought, great, it's about time now. I did a little bit of work. I said, can you get somebody to show me around the premises? So I went out to my car, I got a pair of old trousers on and a jumper, and I walked around with one of the managers who took me around the place. And I said, would you mind leaving me alone for a couple of hours? And all I did for 2 hours was just walk around the care home, sitting around the reception area, listening to the talk, going down where the staff go and have their tea breaks and listen to the conversations. I went around a few places. Long and short version is, I'd more or less summed it up in a day. I was being paid for 3 to 4 days, have a good snoop around and see what I can come up with. But I won't manage to summarise. So the following morning I came back, I did a little bit more investigation, and I said, can we get your board of directors for the afternoon? I've got an idea what needs fixing and what we need to do to fix it. So we got down the second day, and I said, well, the biggest problem that you've got here is that the customers, the so-called customers or your patients that you have currently inside your care home, you're not looking after them. So what do you mean you're not looking after them? I said, you're not looking after the people that you already have here. If you could look after them, you'd have more. He said, no, you don't understand. There's no way we can have more based on these people. There's no referral business. You don't seem to get our business. And I said, well, let me ask you a simple question. I found by sitting around different places, I heard one gentleman come up to the reception, and he said, oh, my mum says, like, she feels cold at night, and every time she asks for an extra blanket, nobody gives her something. And as soon as the young man's back was turned, I heard from the side, pissed. And a bit later on, I'm walking down further on, somebody was serving the tea. Somebody comes running out to the tea lady and said, oh, my mum doesn't take sugar in her tea, so can you please in future not put any sugar in? Pissed. And it seemed to be a constant theme that any time anybody asks for anything, they're bloody pissed. So you either are a welcome guest, the customers, for you, or they're a pest. Now, it depends on whether you want them back or not. If they're the ideal sort of customer that you're searching for, that you're looking for, then they should be your welcome guests at the end of the day. So, long and short version, I'm going to try and summarise this to as quickly as possible. I've got quite a bit to get through. The short of it is, we basically said, look, you need from now on, train your staff, look after the existing customers that you have. What you need to do is the moment a member of their family comes through the door, you really, in all fairness, if they've been there before, your staff should be there to greet them, get their name up in, they should know who they've come to see. The moment they walk through the door, you should be saying to them, what would you like, tea, coffee, or a cold drink? Treat them like royalty. And the second thing that we went on, did an investigation by talking to the last 4 people that booked into that care home. And we asked the people how satisfied they were. I said, what do you mean, how satisfied are we? Only been here about a week. But how have the staff looked after you so far in the time that you've been here? Well, we haven't got complaints or anything. Can I just ask you a simple question? You're in here in the care home now. How long do you envisage you're going to be here? Well, probably till the end of my life, I would imagine. For the sake of nobody's looking after me at home. Okay, can I ask you another question? Have you got any relatives that are close to you? Oh yeah, I've got a couple of brothers, a couple of cousins, and a sister. Okay, how many brothers? Would you mind let me asking you, what age are they? Like all the ages down. Have you got any friends from your workplace that you're still saying, oh yeah, friends, what sort of ages are they? By the time I finish, we've got a list of between 25 to 30 people on a list. And out of those, a third of those were potential people that would be your potential clients for the future. Not for today, not for next week, maybe next year or the year after, maybe the other one every now and then. But they weren't seeing the opportunity. They were more interested in filling the bucket now and doing absolutely nothing to look after the ones that they've already got. How often is it that we forget to look after the customers that we've already got and not looking after them properly? So we put a program into place against their better judgment. They were all against the idea. The CEO agreed, but the rest of the board of directors weren't too happy with it because they just wanted a simple solution. They wanted some magician to go up there with a magic wand and start putting more customers in. They weren't worried about what happens here. Anyway, they decided to implement this process in about 3 of their care homes before rolling it out fully. So every 3 months I would make a phone call to see what sort of progress they were making. It was always like, it's we're trying, but we can't see any results. About 14, 16 months, I guess a call from Peter. Moe, we're fully converted, we're on board. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm a convert. I said, you are? I'm fully converted now, and I'm a full convert. I said, which master did you go to? He said, no, seriously. He said, I've converted, I'm really converted, I'm behind you. I said, sorry, you lost me, Peter. What are you trying to say? He said, look, your idea really works. In the 3 branches that we've been testing this out on at the moment, I have seen something. I've been in this industry for 30 years. He said, I've seen something that I've never seen in my whole entire life. He said, this month, we've had 3 people who have been visiting members of their families and then went back, told their friends, and their friends came and seen the service that we were providing. And they went and told their families. They got the local authorities say, we want our family members out of these care homes and we want them going to one of these care homes because the way you look after them. And he said, we have 3 referrals that were taken from other care homes out there to bring them into us. I've never seen that done. They started to change. It took them a further 18 months to 2 years fully have the whole operation running in the way where they look after the customers rather than looking after their own interests, looking after the interests of the customers. And I tell you what, 4 years down the line, from the moment I walked in to the end, they were running on average 89% capacity. Why? Because they decided to care about their customers as opposed to caring after their bottom line. Most people, when they look at their own businesses, there's too many people looking at things short term, tactfully, and looking at tactics. What can I do to increase my profits? What can I do to get the bottom line up this year? Otherwise I'm not going to survive. There is very few businesses that take a long-term strategy and say, okay, this is what we're going to do over a 3-year period, over a 5-year period. We're going to try and build our customer base based on the relationships that we're going to be building as opposed to just the bottom line. Thank you very much, that's of your money. If I told you 80% of businesses, when they take the money off the client or the customer, as far as they're concerned, we've got the money, you've got the goods and services, our relationship is ended. The smart 20% are the ones say, right, this is the start of the relationship. What can we do today, tomorrow, next week, and the next month? What can we do to make them fall in love with us? And most of the clients I work with, I say to them, the moment you acquire a customer, do a 90-day challenge. In the next 90 days, what can you do with your customers to make them fall in love with you? What can you give them in more service, in more backup, in Moe now have whatever product or service they bought, so they really love you to pieces. So they go out there and brag about you. Those are your best referral systems if you're going to get anywhere in the world. What are you guys doing here? Just tell me, amongst yourself in your own table, I'll give you a quick 5 minutes to see what you can do to adopt for every new customer that you get. What can you do to make them fall in love with you for 90 days? For 90 solid days that you really go over, you bend over backward until you can really get them singing your praises everywhere they go. I'll give you a quick 5 minutes, just have a chat between the table. Can we have just one person per table? Give us some ideas, anybody. What's some idea we can have here? One person to share their idea, what we're going to do for 90 days. Yes, start.
So, in my letting agency, we rent out rooms. Want to do anything else? The wrong meeting. So, in our letting agency, where we're renting out rooms, so one of the things is that we talked about creating a kind of social environment for people that may be new to town, they're there for the first time, helping them kind of meet other people, a social evening, maybe Chutney and chat. And maybe a pizza one evening or something, just kind of helping them build their community and relationships here. So, which is once we move them in, normally goodbye, we don't want to hear from you again.
Excellent. Well done. Next table. Any volunteers? There we go. Share your idea.
So you'll be the source.
Installation, for example, like washing machines and transit controllers, like transit so we do 3 installations. All our washing machines, and and I was just speaking to a gentleman here, and so do you follow that up? I said no, I don't follow that up. So after speaking to the young gentleman, he told me to follow up for a 3-month period. Ask him how do you get on? How's our service? Do you know, after all that, ask him, do you know anybody who wants to wash your machine?
They should be doing the selling for you. I'm just going to go off track here because I'm going to share something about this industry because I've brought up in this industry. There's one person now that I've been that coming too well. I've worked within the electrical industry for many years ago, so I understand this industry better than anybody else. The typical, and I'm going to try and make it as general as possible so you can all get an idea how you can adapt it into yours. We worked with a firm of retailers down south, going back about 12 years ago. They were having similar, I think about 6 or 7 branches, and they were having problems trying to get fresh customers in. And partly what we did was, on the 90 days of making the customer fall in love with you, was as soon as somebody came into your premises, we would have reports for washing machines, reports for fridge freezers, reports for microwaves, and what we'd have like a league table. These are top 10 microwaves, these are top 10 televisions, these are top 10 videos, and these are the top 10. And then next to that, we would have then the life expectancy of something. Let's just take cookers for instance. Here's the top 5 manufacturers in cookers. If you have this cooker, this has a 5-year life on average. This one has a 3-year life, this one has a 6-year life, this one has a 7-year life, this one has a 4-year life. So each time somebody would buy something, we would give the report. So we would say, look, here's a free kettle for you. Instead of paying £29 for a kettle, can we give you a free kettle? Can you just give me 2 minutes of your time? Can I ask you, how old is your cooker? Oh, it's 3 years old. How old is your television? 2 years old. Ask for any major appliances so you're taking information out. In return, give them a kettle or something. Once you've got that information, you can then give them a report for the cookers, a report for the television. Somebody might be saying, well, I don't need a TV, my TV's perfect. But when they look at the report, my TV's only got a 4-year life. I've had it 6 years, so I better start looking for another one. So what are you doing now? You're educating your customers, you're educating your clients to be switched on. Hang on, I better start looking for another TV, because this is like a crack out in another few months. So what are you doing to educate your customers to keep coming back to you? And part of the thing what we would do is every month, every 6 weeks, we phone that customer up and we say, oh, by the way, we've just had a special offer on whatever, it wasn't kettles, it was toasters, because kettles, toasters and irons are the 3 common things that literally we replace at least once a year, once every 18 months. So those were ideal things that we would buy in bulk and give them away, literally at cost without making money, just to make contact. So every 6 weeks we phone up, by the way, we just bought 2 container loads of these,
Mine's at the moment, and you can have them at cost. What I'll do is, if you just say yes, I'll put one by, and I'll put it under the counter for you. So next time you're up here, each time they come in to pick up an appliance, you're giving them a cost, you give them a cup of coffee, you're building that relationship. Always give them a report or give them something, whatever information you've already gathered on there. You then look and say, okay, they're going to need a washing machine in 3 months' time, 6 months' time. What you don't want them doing is going into comments, or even though comments not there any longer, curries or your rivals. So you need to be focusing on building your relationship with them on a one-to-one basis. The more tighter your relationship is, the more they're going to go and tell somebody else when somebody's in the need for those appliances or whatever. How many people are here in the catering business, in the restaurants? Yeah? Okay, well, I'll show you an example on that. So what do you guys get at the table?
So the big thing I took from what you did is, the first thing you did, which is you went and asked the customers what they felt. And I know sometimes customers don't like to complain. I mean, you come to a restaurant, you don't complain, but you infiltrated the customers, and that was a big thing you did there, which people don't do with that.
Table anyone?
Yeah, what we're talking about is this question. Is that bad? Okay, how do you need to make sure you keep in contact with the customer? Once we provided a product or service, every couple of weeks, give them a credit score, find out how they're doing, happy with the service. If they are, just ask them, one or two people who also benefit from the service too. Okay, because at the end of the day, we can do the report. They might be doing something that will probably benefit your friends or family in the future. So it's very important that we build a strong rapport with the customer and always keep them happy. And that way they can do it as well.
Excellent. Instead of asking them, especially in the 90 days, what you don't ask for is referrals, ask for other customers because you're going to weaken the relationship. What you want to be doing in that 90 days, give. Don't ask.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm
What you do in the 90 days, the whole idea is get them to fall in love with you. So they do the promotion for you. That's excellent. It's human nature for us to do it. It's a thing. Anybody on the table?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me in the back? I'm at the back, so you must be at the front. I'm reluctant. Some of you might remember my 2 cans of Vimto, 2 trays of Vimto from the coffee and natter. I've been asked to talk about jelly babies. Yeah, everybody thinks I'm mad, but jelly babies are important. I have a habit when I've got a new customer of introducing a bag of jelly babies to the table. This tells me a lot about the customer. First of all, if he doesn't share them, I know he's a mean bugger. I think back, oh no, you can still hear me. I watch the way they eat them. If they bite the legs off first, I think they're quite a gentle person. If they bite the heads off, I worry it'll be my head that gets bitten off next time. If they throw the jelly baby in whole and chomp around like a cement mixer, I know future discussions are going to go on and on and on. And if they don't open the bag of jelly babies, or they give it back to you, they're not the kind of person I want to deal business with. So that's the jelly baby theory.
Anybody on this table?
Anybody like some gold? We all love gold, but right. How about if you buy some gold, then we give you some free gold if you refer others?
Excellent. One of the things in the gold business is what you want to be doing is selling something. Hypothetically, if you get a spoon here, the value of that spoon is gold plated. Hypothetically, say the cost for you to buy it, say, is a quid, 100 quid, sorry. 100 quid and you sell it for 200 quid, 150, whatever the thing. Anything to entice the customer with your first deal. I'll give you an example, somebody buying diamonds. If you get somebody to buy into a diamond as an investment, and diamonds are small, and you do it at cost or below cost. So what you're doing is trying to get people onto your buying list. What they do with that diamond is then gives you an opportunity to send catalogue to them. And the cheapest thing you have in there is £500, £600, and what you said there, you just paid me £99 for that diamonds. But the moment you decide to buy something out of them, you have 50 back, you should be making £50 profit on that diamond. If you have it then, nothing under 150 quid. But they don't have to spend that, because that diamond and so on is no good, it's so small, so minute. Sorry, anybody else, any tables there? Yes, tables over here. Anybody on this table? There we go.
I'm cheating because I actually own a training company that specialises in customer service.
Oh, excellent.
I would say there's many things you can do. One is to literally correspond with them and say thank you for your custom, but with a lead magnet. It's very, very, very key to do that and know exactly the value of what you're offering them. Also, at the time when they do become a customer, have them on your mailing list and ask them if it's okay, first and foremost. You don't want to alienate them, and then give them tips and tricks along the way.
Excellent, excellent. Well done. Anybody on this table over here? Yeah? I think for long term, what we need to do really, shall I stand up? Being in business for about 35 years, prior to becoming an engineer, I found that, first of all, you need to, as Moe said, to build up relationships with your customers. We pride ourselves on having built long-term relationships with our customers, that they become like your extended family, and we make them feel like that. And the key to that is to be honest with your customers. Make sure that you give them deals that they can make money out of. You cannot be selfish in business. If you want to do long-term business, sometimes you have to give and take, you have to be flexible. That is very, very important. And sometimes I find that we go to other businesses, they can be very arrogant, they stick to their prices. And if somebody is buying, say, 20 items from you, and say in 3 or 4 items you don't make any money, it doesn't matter, does it? Because you're making money on the rest, but you're making that guy very happy. And that's what we've done through life, is to make sure that when people come in, we greet them, we know their names. And now that we have over 35 years, we've got the people who used to deal with us, their children are now dealing with us, and sometimes their grandchildren are now dealing with us. Excellent. So that is very important. And that's because we have built up relationships with them, we've been honest with them, and through hard times... £50 for charity for that. Yeah. And through hard times, we've also supported them. That's very important too. So that's all. I think Moe actually put everything.
Great. Thank you. Right. Just be honest with me now on this. How many hands can I see up in the air with the people that find it difficult to do that with their customer, because they feel no matter what they do for their customer, the customers are never happy? Just be honest with me. Okay. 1 honest person, 2 honest people. Wow. Everybody just keep their customers. Okay. A couple of things I'm going to share with you here, in case you're not telling me the truth. There's no reason for me to doubt you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Can everybody see this? If you imagine, I've got a sheet of paper here, 33%, 33%, 33%. Your customers that you're serving at the current moment fall into this bit here, which is known as the mass, where most of the people, and I'd be reluctant to say, I would say the bulk of the people in here, probably 70%, 80% of you, are fishing in here for your customers. The people in this lower 33%, no matter what you do for them, no matter how much value you create for them, how much freebies you give them, they are not very clear about how you do it. They're just going to turn to the next person who's 5 pence cheaper, £5 cheaper. There's no loyalty whatsoever. So no matter what you try and do for them, you're never going to keep them. These people see you as a commodity. No matter what you do for them, they'll always see you as a commodity. Because when they phone you up or they walk into your premises, the first thing they say is, oh, by the way, how much is it for an MOT? How much is it for a pound of apples? How much is it for a pair of shoes? All they're concerned about is price, because that's all they understand. They don't understand anything else. The next lot here are the masters. Here you'll find two members of the family working. Oh, this thing that's bloody anyway. These guys in here, there's two people working in the family, so you've got double the amount of income. These guys here, price is third, fourth, or fifth on line. So they'll be saying, is it possible that you can do an MOT next Friday? Yeah, sure. Do you do any MOTs for Volvos? Yeah. And by the way, how much is it? Price is not a priority. All they're interested in is, can you do this? Can you provide that on the time and date they want? Now, these people are very, very loyal. They'll stay with you. Once they trust you and they have the confidence for you, they'll stay with you. The only time they'll behave like morons like these at the bottom is if they have a matrimonial issue or the economy's changed and interest rates have gone through the roof. They'll behave just like these muppets down here. These guys here, you can sell to them through influence by educating them. These people here only need to be sold. Sold is the word. That's all they understand, being sold. These people here don't like being sold. You can influence them to buy from you. The people here at the top, these are the masters. The mastermind, they've done everything. If somebody's going to come and buy a car for £500,000, you can guarantee they've got a further 20, 30 million that they can call on any given time without any hesitation. These people, you can't influence them, you can't sell to them, so how do you reach those? You have to break into the circles that these people move in. So if you're trying to sell something to Beckham, you've got to understand the circle of friends that Beckham moves in. If you can find the weakest link, you get into the one, you get into the whole circle. So it depends. The language that these people speak here is different to the language these people speak here, to the people that speak there. So on your websites, on your literature, with your sales reps going out on the road, depending on who it is that you're talking to, you need to be aware. That same language doesn't transfer here. The language from there doesn't transfer there. So you have to really, really spend time, effort, and resources in understanding your clients or your customers. What would happen, just out of curiosity, how many people got customers? Okay, how many people got clients? What's the difference between a customer and a client? No difference. No difference. Okay. Yeah? Okay. What if you was to flip? A customer is somebody most people see as a transactional. They're coming in, buy a bag of potatoes, whatever. They exchange the money, end the relationship. People that see their customers as their clients, they go out to get those people and they want to keep them as long as they possibly can and look after them and service them. They don't want to be going out there chasing them every time they come back. Zero over here, most of these clients, when they come in there, they stay with them. A good solicitor, he'll not only be dealing with that one individual, he'll be dealing with the whole entire family. Why? Because he's treating them like clients and wants to look after. So flip that switch in your head from customer to client and see how you start behaving and start treating your clients as clients as opposed to customers. It's amazing, just a little flick of the switch, how you start treating people as opposed to what you're currently seeing them as. Got number 2 versus number 4. This is a very, 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 and I'll say it again, very, very important thing. You need to understand the difference between the number 2 and the number 4. Most corporate businesses, including the smaller ones, love the number 2. Somebody signed a 2-year mobile phone contract, let's screw these people over for the next 2 years, let's squeeze every penny out of them. We've got him for 2 years, let's really, really screw him over. Do whatever you can to them. And as soon as that 2 years comes by, what do you think they do? They run as far away as possible from you because you've squeezed them for everything. The clever ones, what can we do for them? What can we do for them? Do you think they'll leave you at the end of the 2 years? So, change the number 2 to the number 4. Simple, simple switches, simple things, that's all it requires. What are you doing to your customers? What are you doing for them? Simple things, no rocket science or anything like that. What are the experiences that you create for your customers? People will forget what they bought from you. People will forget what they paid for it. People forget how they bought it. People will always remember the experience that you created for them. I'll share a simple story with you here. Most of you might relate to this. I had a cousin of mine going back, just about 7-8 years ago. His parents passed away back in Pakistan, and he was born over here, never been to Pakistan in his entire life. He was in his late 20s. He had to go and settle his family estate. And the rest of the family, we all got together with him and said, oh, you got to be careful, you've never been back there, you're going to get kidnapped and all sorts of things, scared him to death out of him, like the poor chap, like he didn't want to go. Eventually he made his mind up, we all told him, like, be cautious, do this, do that, and so on, but again, we've got members of the family who look after him when you get there. He got to the airport, and it was the middle of June. And as he's got his luggage, he's out at the airport, and there's all these taxi drivers all trying to fight for his luggage right now. Please, look after you. Sugar, who do I trust in here? Who do I go with? I've got nobody here to meet me. Who do I trust? They all look like a bunch of blooming cowboys, even though they might be Pakistanis. But who do I trust? And then all of a sudden, this one comes forward in the middle of June, sunny, hot day, white shirt on, and he's got a tie on. He said, sir, please come with me. Why are you standing there? And he said, for whatever reason, I don't know why, my instinct said, no, follow this guy, he's different. And as he pulled my luggage, we walked up towards his car, and I looked at his car, and I looked at all the other taxis, and I went, sugar, it's no different to that. It's a bloody back of the whole flipping, I'm Morris Minor. So what do I do? And then I'm standing there, shall I get in this car, or shall I not? And he opens the back door, and he says, please sir, don't stand out there. This is air conditioning, And he said, I felt that cold air coming in. And he said, no, I've got to get in the car. Then he says, as I got in the car, I left my feet outside. He said, no, he's going to run after my luggage. So he's again waiting till he puts the luggage in the back, shuts the boot, then he puts his feet and shuts the door. Driver gets in, and driver says, where would you like to go? He describes where he wants to go. He said, sir, that's going to be about a 3-hour journey. He said, that's fine. He said, but sir, I have one rule. I had charged a flat rate. Regardless whether it's 1 hour, 5 hours, or 10 hours, I charge a flat rate. He gave him a rate. Translated from sterling to that, it still pennies in comparison. So he said, no problem. He said, sir, have you ever been to Pakistan before? He says, no, it's my first trip. He said, sir, on your left-hand side, you'll find a cooler box there. It's got some cold drinks in there. Please help yourself. And on your right-hand side, you'll see English newspapers there. And he's like, thinking, wow, crummy old taxi. Yeah, thank you. He said, sir, would you mind, and as this driving out of the airport, he said, would you mind if I show you one of the beautiful mosques here, just on the way? He said, it will only be 2 minutes out the way. He's thinking, hang on, they're going to tell me some dark alley or something. So, it's, well, not really, it's only 2 minutes. So, anyway, a few minutes down the road, they pull up outside this beautiful mosque, and he said, sir, would you like to come out? Would you like me to take a picture? I thought, you're not fooling me, though. It's going to be part of my luggage, no way. So, anyways, he said, no, I'll take a few pictures, with the phone. Takes a few pictures, and they drive on. About an hour later, he said, sir, would you mind if I pull you up here and show you the scenery? And I pulled up another place. And this 3-hour journey, by the way, turned out to be 6 hours, because he kept stopping everywhere for scenery, for stops, for this and that. By this time, they built up a relationship, and he really felt like, he knew this guy. So when they got to the end of the journey, he paid double what the fee that he was asking. He was that impressed. And the driver said, sir, when you are ready to go back, please, sir, what day will you be going back? He said, well, I'm going back in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, but I haven't booked the date. He said, sir, this is my card. Please, make sure you call me. I will come here. I will personally pick you up and take you back with the greatest pleasure. Please, sir, call me. So what day do you think you're going back? He said, well, maximum I'm going to be here is 3 or 4 weeks. Please, sir, can I have your card? So he takes a business card of my cousin. Anyways, it so happened my cousin came back, one of his members of his family drove him back to the airport, so he didn't get to see him. A week after he landed, he got a card from that taxi driver. Sir, it was a pleasure to see you, but I'm sorry if I missed the opportunity not to take you back. But please, if any of your friends or relatives come here, please tell them,
Do you think he's going to tell his relatives to have this taxi driver or not? What do you think? How many people think he will? No, that's a taxi driver a migrant. Sorry? Well, I thought they're all over here, but no, unfortunately not. There must be a few left there still. I mean, in a third world country, in a battered up old taxi, if somebody can create that sort of an experience for somebody who's gone from the UK, who was born over here, has never been back home, what do you think you can do with your business? What do you think you can do? What sort of an experience do you think you can create for your customers to remember? That they'll want to come back and do business with you. Go on, I'm going to give you a quick 5 minutes again. Think of the experience you can create for your customers. Just think seriously. Thank you. I'm not going to go around because we're not going to have enough time. Food's going to be getting cold, and I'm sure you're bored with me by now anyhow. So I'm not going to hold you back from your food. I'm just going to ask one or two at the table at random, see what anybody's come up with. On this table, has anybody come up with something? Yeah, put his hand up.
What I feel is that give your customer the best ever experience that they can have, so they can remember you, and if you fortunate you follow.
That's just words before.
They can feel it, they can remember you, and so that's when they can build.
You have to create that journey. There's a fantastic book that I would advise anybody in business to get, and that's Selling Happiness or Happiness in the Box. Tony Shane, the founder and CEO of Zappos. It's a 10-year story. You can listen to his audiobook or the book itself. It's a phenomenal book. It'll really, really make you understand how to keep customers and what you need to do to look after them. When your business becomes totally customer orientated, so it's driven by the customers and their needs and wants. And the best part with Tony was when he sold his business after Amazon for 1.2 billion, 10 years later, he never sells anything below market price, full market price, everything is charged. Because if he's able to charge the full market price, you can bend over backwards for your customers to do anything to please them. But if you're doing that bottom 33%, you're not going to have the margins to look after your customers. So don't be a commodity. Get out of that commodity trap. Anybody on this table? Okay, guys. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you 10 minutes of my time for Q&A. Otherwise, food's going to get cold and I'll get late and then you'll just cancel me instead. Sorry.
I've got a question.
Okay, first question coming up.
Hi Mo, you were talking about on the page before about different types of customers. So some who are completely just interested in commodity pricing. Some. Would you create 3 separate brands if you were selling products and aim your business? Because obviously the language you're using is going to be completely different, and the way you sell would always also be completely different. Would you create 3 different brands, or how would you try and target multiple people in different areas?
It really all depends on yourself. I'll give you an example. Adidas. How many people see people walking around with a big Adidas badge on the front and a big Adidas name on the back? I mean, you've all seen people walking around with that. That's aimed at these puppets down here. And they run adverts. They pay £10, £20 for a t-shirt to be advertising Adidas. But the guys that are up here, they pay like £120 for this same t-shirt, but the logo is so small and discreet. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? To answer your question?
Kind of.
So you can keep the same brand, but you have to decide how will it look different and how will it feel different for this audience to that audience. So you can still get the higher value and not undermine the product. Or you can create 3 different brands. Any other questions? Come on, there must be other people in here. I swear I'm not going to run you under the bus over here. Not today, anyway. I've got shy, man.
You've done such a good job.
Really hungry, I think.
Three target markets there. What about the people who try to attack all three at the same time? I mean, some marketing theory say you can do one or the other. Can you attack all three?
If you are a big organisation, yes, but if most of the businesses in here, unless you've got shitloads of money to throw at marketing, I would advise against it. Because you can't do everything for everybody on the budgets that most of you guys are on. If you're a multinational corporation, you can set budgets up for different markets, it doesn't matter. But the level you guys are in here, including myself, we just need to be focusing on one of those markets and just focus on that. You're not going to get everybody. How many people are in call centres or have telesales teams within their businesses? People do mail shots. People on email lists. Oh, you don't do any sales. No wonder you don't get any sales. Come on. You wonder why you don't get sales. We're showing all business people. Question over here.
No, it wasn't a question, it was a
I'm scratching his nose, sorry.
This all is very informative, but I want to know one thing. This is about the people who are doing the business in the market sector. Especially, I want to know about the ladies who want to start a business from home. They are mothers, and what is the good skills for them? How can they start their new business and how can they promote?
It's a very, very broad question. So I'll give you a very, very broad answer to that. Really depends on the business that you're trying to start. Is it to sell products or services? Which will it be?
Anything.
Anything. So I can give you any answer then. So I can make up any old bullshit.
Like some ladies are doing cloth business from home.
Doing what, sorry?
The cloth business
Okay.
from home, the ladies' cloth business.
Okay.
What are the good advice
What, to sell or to make?
to make customers or to promote their business and stuff?
I think what she's trying to say is I think a lot of people have a mindset being so restricted they feel that they can't do much. So she's saying for those people who can't do much, what is it that they can do?
Sometimes knowledge or too much knowledge can be a danger and not make you take action. Let me just show you an example. How many people in here feel that the knowledge and the skills that they have are higher than the results they're getting? Be honest. Look at it. So having too much knowledge doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the higher results. I always say take action, trial and error. The fantastic teacher that I had in the early days, Michael Masterson, his very first book I ever read was Ready, Fire, Aim. If you take the approach that you're going to be trying to finish something, that you get down in details till you've mastered it, and then trying to sell it for go find your customers, it's just not going to work. Even now, like today, I put some posts up there, and I had myself this 9 people. Oh, Mo, you misspelled this, or you missed. I don't care. They've got the general gist of what I'm trying to say. Everybody knows I left school with no formal education. I still can't spell it today. But people don't pay me because of my spelling. People pay me for the results I produce. So don't be frightened. Half the demons we've all got in here from doing what we want to do for what we're really worthy of doing to what we end up achieving and what we end up doing is the internal dialogues that we have with ourselves. And most of the time, your biggest enemy that you're going to overcome, every one of you, and I'll do another talk another day, which is purely about mindset. A lot of the time, it's the internal dialogues that we have within ourselves that just holds us back, and we never take action. We know we've got to take action, we know we've got to do it, but we never get around to doing it. Because the internal demons in there and keep telling us you're not worthy, you're not worth it. If you make too much money, rich people are crap, they don't do any good, they don't serve the communities. So it's the internal dialogue. I'll do another talk with this another day, but we'll leave that some of the subject altogether. Any other questions?
Yeah.
You've done a good job, Mo. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think the other thing to do is to talk about whether, and I think you maybe touched on that also, is you must have, obviously most of these businesses aspire to get somewhere in life. That's why they are doing businesses, because they want a better standard of living, they want more money, they want to create wealth, etc., etc., etc. But how many people are really dedicated or really have goals in their minds to know exactly where they're going and are dedicated enough to do that and put the hard work in? Because I find youngsters now, they don't have that energy that we guys have and we had in the past also. And I think that's very important to touch on. Thank you.
I don't think it's a question of the young, the old, or just as bad, trust me.
I think they're used to too softer life.
No, not necessarily with their own pressures, at least they think they are. A lot of the times, it's back in here in our sort of minds and our little comfort zones. The best thing you can do at any given time is sit down in the morning. I'm assuming everybody's in business, or in some form of business. And if you really, really want to accelerate your business and really want to grow it, dump what you have in there on sheets of paper. Start creating a mind map. Who knows what mind map is? Just start creating mind maps on flip charts like this. Create a 3-year vision. Dump every single thing you can for your 3-year vision. And what you do with your 3-year vision, draw 36 bus stops. Imagine you've got 36 bus stops now that you are on the bus, you're on a journey and the bus is here today. Bus stop number 1. Based on the growth of the next 36 bus stations, work out what rate you're going to be growing at with the line going across, what you're going to end up with in sales, where you propose to be, where do you see your vision in 3 years' time of your business, yourself, what sort of house you're going to be living in, what car you're going to be driving, what sort of lifestyle, who are you known as today, and who do you want to be known as in 3 years' time from now? Now, those are all the things that are in there, because you don't take them out of there and dump it on there, you don't have a vision. If you don't have a vision, how are you going to know if you got there or not? You want to dump all that, break this down, bus stop by bus stop by bus stop by bus stop by bus stop, until you get a clear picture saying, at bus stop number 7, I've got to take on an accountant. At bus stop number 9, I've got to take on a marketing guy. At bus stop number 11, I need to run a couple of these people over because they're not bloody performing. Chuck them off the bus and reverse the bus. Because if they stay there, they're going to sue you. So make sure you reverse the bus and run them over twice. So you've got to plan and plan. Who are you picking up at what bus station? Who are you throwing off because they're not performing? Your biggest success factor, if you're growing into a business as opposed to a single one-man band, is the people around you. And selecting those people around you, that's another topic for another day. Get the right people who are going to be supporting you to grow your business. Without those right people, you're not going to get anywhere. One final thing that's going to help you more than anything is find a good accountability partner. Once you've done your vision here for the 3 years, find a good accountability partner that you can depend on once a week for an hour to make sure they're holding you accountable to everything, and you do the same with them. That's the biggest asset you're going to get from anywhere. I don't care. We run mastermind groups for people that are under the million, people over the million, and the biggest asset that we give them is accountability partners, people who hold them accountable for what they're going to be doing. We find in our groups, if they don't perform and keep up the target for 2 months, we just chuck them off the bus. There's the door, get lost, don't come back in here, we don't need you, we don't need your money, because you're letting the whole group down. So really, it depends on your own ability. Find that right person, find that right accountability partner, and you'll start getting your business to go. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mo. Could I just have another round of applause? Amazing, absolutely amazing. Priceless words, and I'm sure we all learned something from that. We all took something away. I'd like to extend my sincere thanks again to Mo for taking time out today to come and talk at our events and share his words of wisdom.